We continue with the fourth of this 5-part series about the return to Geonosis, even as cheerful announcer Guy declares it was a victory. But since we have 2 more parts to go, that might be premature. After all, Poggle the Lesser is still at large, and with a name that intimidating, we must spare no expense in bringing in such a dire threat. So Master Luminara and Obi-Wan Kenobi are in charge of hunting him down. This man, who has 1 hover tank, 2 guards, a couple comic relief droids, and a little bit of cargo. I think Steve McQueen had more with him when he escaped from that Nazi prison. He also loses one of his containers on the way, leaving a clue of where he's going because this clone has some kind of Apache Chief Indian tracking ability thing going on, and so he knows where he's heading. The Progate Temple, continuing our theme this week of things that sound like toothpaste. So they pursue Poggle into
Sandstorm! Sandstorm!
But after they penetrate the sandstorm and arrive at the temple, there's no sign of Poggle, just these creepy grinning statues, like the kind that make Greg Brady wipe out while surfing. That means they must have gone into the catacombs, and we all know how much they love their underground labyrinths. In fact, here's footage of the Geonosians in Disney's upcoming Star Wars film. Better the devil you know, huh? But soon the signal is lost, and that could mean trouble, but the sandstorm is still on. Of course, Anakin isn't going to let a little thing like zero visibility or being unable to fly into this place stop him. No, he'll happily lead his men into the storm, and they'll follow him in the vain hope they can shoot him in the back where there won't be any witnesses. But Obi-Wan finally convinces him that waiting is the better option instead of charging off quarter-cocked because half-cocked is for people who drag their feet. They really don't need to go searching for the search party after all. So they head out once things are clear, with the downside that no one will die pointlessly. But luckily they do find a dead guy when they arrive. But alas, there is no sign of Luminara.
This is not a good sign.
I found her lightsaber. I found her lightsaber too. Wait, no, you have the lightsaber. Anyone have a wet wipe? They can't help noticing one of the ugly statues, and Obi-Wan speculates that it might be their queen, since Geonosians are bugs, and that's the kind of thing you expect from them. So into the tunnels they go for their long, long search, while we discover the unconscious Luminara being dragged off by Geonosians, who, aside of Poggle, look kind of zoned out and drooly. When she comes to and has at one of them, she learns the truth. They're zombies. And not like zoned out or something. She stabs one in the gut, and all it does is annoy it. She tries to warn the others not to rescue her, but the zombies beat 7 kinds of shit out of her, which is better than what zombies usually do, admittedly, so she's got that going for her. Sure enough, the rescue party is soon attacked, and of course the question must be asked, how do you kill something that's already dead? Easy, you point Anakin at it. It's the irresistible force meeting the immovable object. Well, even with him hacking away at them, that doesn't solve the problem, and that leaves Obi-Wan to sort it out. Anakin against an enemy who can't die is like James Bond finding a sexy villainess without genitals. All options have suddenly been exhausted, and it's time to panic. Poor Anakin. It's like being dropped into Torchwood Miracle Day. A reason to scream. Nobody can die. And what's worse, you're stuck in Torchwood Miracle Day. Obi-Wan's plan is to break off, collapse the tunnel on the attackers, and then call in some reinforcements. So he sends 2 clones back to get to higher ground so that they can get a signal through. And you probably don't need me to tell you what's going to happen. Yeah, horrible, horrible death. The only thing worse is having to watch the delivery. Ugh. Yeah, it's the Queen, and not a moment too late. Wow. Look at that, Geonosians. Your mama's so fat, she's only a BBW if W stands for what the fuck. Anakin's plan is for them to attack the soldiers and him to attack the Queen because the Queen's the biggest thing out there that can be attacked and he wants in on that. But Obi-Wan says, hey, how about if we try talking first? Shake things up a little, try something new for once, Guardians of Peace, we could try the peaceful option for the novelty of it.
How did you know they wouldn't just attack us? Because I make observations while you think with your lightsaber.
Hey, don't bring Padme into this. So what's the plan for Big Mama's house here, besides stringing Luminara up in levitation bondage? I think that's Geonosian for, ooh, I hate that rabbit. The Queen's plan is to infect them so she can take control over them like she does her zombie slaves.
Find out everything you wanted to know yet?
No, wait. I want to see how it works.
I don't think Luminara wants to see how it works.
No, I don't.
I'm curious. The more we know, the better.
Yeah, but not if it means getting possessed by a brain parasite. I thought you were the voice of reason here. Before the actual insertion takes place, Obi-Wan finally signals the attack, and they rescue Luminara, arrest Poggle, and snatch one of the parasites for study. To determine potential weaknesses. But Anakin quickly identifies one by yanking it away from Obi-Wan and stomping on it until it's dead. Now he can write a paper on it. There was a worm, and I killed it. Killed it in its stupid face. But at least they make their daring escape. But since there's one more part left, well, you can be sure that this isn't the end for the Geonosians and their glandular mum. There's lots of really creepy moments in this episode. After the action of the last two, it really shook things up. And some of it looks really good, like the shots of them going through the tunnels with nothing but the troopers' headlamps for light. Now, the zombies may annoy some, but they do manage to shake things up with them, too. There's no biting or anything like was done with Death Troopers. They just overpower you. They're more like a voodoo kind of zombies than a Romero Walking Dead figure. So I was fine with that. I gotta say also that I enjoy the presence of Luminara here again. She serves as a good counterpoint to Anakin without the personal issues that Obi-Wan's relationship with him turns it into. That's more one of exasperation. Next month, the story arc draws to a close with Brain Invaders. Wonder what that could possibly be about.
D